Wake up and you'll find that the global IQ is dropped by 1,000 times. The once universally known 99 multiplication table has become the world's most difficult math problem. Hee, you're quite interesting, little brother, but don't be infatuated with me. I'm about to get married. Xingjie didn't listen to Qin Feng's explanation and joked with a smile. Really? Then why are you so unhappy? Qin Feng felt a hint of disappointment in his heart when he heard this, then asked. It's something a little kid like you wouldn't understand. I'm already an adult. Even so, you're still a little kid. After deducting the cost, you earn 200 yuan. Not bad, a first-year student can earn so much money. I can calculate it myself. A first-year student can calculate 700 to 500? Why not? Besides, I have no costs. It's not good to lie. If that guy how comes to bother you again, give me a call. Xingjie didn't believe that Qin Feng could calculate 700 to 500, so she treated it as a joke and handed her business card to Qin Feng. Qin Feng took it without hesitation. The business card had Xingjie's photo on it, and 3 big characters were written next to it, Zhuang Qingqing. It was the first time Qin Feng knew Xingjie's full name, and he read it word by word. Just call me Xingjie. It's getting late, go back quickly. I'm leaving, I'll come again next time. Qin Feng said these words and left. It was indeed getting late. Watching Qin Feng's figure leave, Zhuang Qingqing smiled helplessly. Qin Feng quickly returned home and immediately turned on the computer. There were 99 plus messages, and most of them were from Leng Xiao. Score God, I said Leng Xiao, can you send fewer messages? I can't keep up with all of them. Qin Feng complained helplessly. Leng Xiao #Yuan, Master, you finally replied to me. I waited for you at the 9th pavilion for 2 hours. Score God, waited for me? Didn't I tell you to leave it there and go? Leng Xiao #Yuan, but I wanted to see your face. I got bitten by mosquitoes for 2 hours there. Qin Feng didn't forget. He thought that after putting it away, Cold Xiao would definitely be waiting there, so he planned to take it when he went to school in the morning. It seems that his thoughts were indeed correct. Score God, do you know that you are doing something very dangerous? Cold Xiao, what thing? Score God, violating the rules, never cooperating. Cold Xiao, I'm innocent. God, I just wanted to see how handsome you are. Satisfy my curiosity. Score God, this is an exception. Where is the test paper? Cold Xiao, since you were taking so long and not replying, I took it back. Score God, it's up to you, but you won't get a refund. Cold Xiao, I'll put it back immediately, sob. Score God, do as you wish. After a while, there was still no response from the other side, most likely because they went to put the exam papers. Qin Feng dealt with other messages. Another hour passed, and it was already 11 o'clock. Qin Feng looked at the time and took a photo of the test paper in his hand and sent it. Let's stop here for today. Qin Feng turned off the computer and checked his phone balance. After deducting the rent last time, he had 17,000 yuan left. He earned 1,800 yuan today. Now he has a deposit of 18,000 yuan. This earning speed is impressive even in the previous world. Master, there's a phone call, a phone call. The sudden phone call interrupted Qin Feng's fantasy of being a rich man. Qin Feng picked up his phone and saw an unfamiliar number. Curiously, he answered the call and put the phone to his ear. Hello? Is this Qin Feng? A gentle girl's voice came from the other end of the phone. Qin Feng asked in confusion, who is this? I'm Lin Xinguan, from Xining Elementary School. Do you remember me? Qin Feng suddenly realized, I remember, what's up? Lin Xinguan said, I got your number from the principal. You represent our Qingshan district and are participating in the elite competition. You must do your best. Qin Feng helplessly replied, okay. Lin Xinguan said, you are excellent, so I believe in you. Qin Feng replied, okay. Lin Xinguan said, well, I won't disturb you anymore. Study hard and bring glory to our Qingshan district. Before Qin Feng could hang up, he heard a beep from the other end of the phone. Qin Feng didn't think much about it. He just turned off his phone and fell asleep. The next morning. Damn! It seems like I have to participate in that elite competition in 2 days. I have to personally take part in such a small competition. If it weren't for the 50,000 yuan prize for the champion, I wouldn't bother participating. Qin Feng muttered as he quickly packed up. After a simple tidy up, Qin Feng left the house. Qin Feng, still half asleep, sat in the classroom. At this moment, his classmates dared not mock Qin Feng anymore, but they also kept their distance from him. They whispered to each other, and he didn't know what they were saying. Just then, the entire class's attention turned to the girl who entered through the door. Lui was wearing a school uniform today, with long and slender legs without any flaws. Her hair was adorned with many cute hair clips, and her figure was impeccable. Seeing the class's gaze all focused on her, a blush appeared on her youthful cheeks. Wow! She truly deserves to be the school flower. She looks really beautiful today. The classmates couldn't help but exclaim. Hearing these words, Lui quickened her pace and blushing, sat next to Qin Feng. Suddenly, the malicious gazes of both male and female classmates were directed towards Qin Feng. Qin Feng shook his head helplessly at these gazes and sighed as he looked at the lowered head of Lui. She's truly a disaster for men. Lui is my woman, who dares to have any ideas about her? Yanwei loudly declared his sovereignty, but his gaze was fixed on Qin Feng. When Yanwei said this, the classmates' gazes finally shifted away from Qin Feng. Qin Feng naturally understood that Yanwei's words were directed at him, but he didn't mind and gave Yanwei a grateful look. Seeing Qin Feng's expression, Yanwei's mouth twitched in annoyance, but he couldn't do anything about it. He snorted and turned his face away. Yanwei, don't talk nonsense. When will I be your woman? Dear Yi's head had already lifted, anger replacing the shyness on her face as she glared at Yanwei. Yi, why are you angry? You will be my woman sooner or later. What's wrong with me saying it in advance? Yanwei, it's impossible between us unless I die, dear Yi said seriously. Yi, did someone say bad things about me to you? You never got angry when I joked like this before, Yanwei explained to dear Yi, but his gaze shifted towards Qin Feng. Qin Feng remained unaffected. If someone's family doesn't like me because I'm ugly, it's not my fault for being handsome. Just promise me that you won't say I'm your woman anymore. Alright, I won't say it anymore, so don't be angry, Yanwei replied gently to dear Yi, even though she embarrassed him in front of the class. Dear Yi sat down after hearing Yanwei's response, and she glanced at Qin Feng, who was sitting there gloating. She shot him a fierce look and then lowered her head to focus on her work. Qin Feng looked at dear Yi in confusion. What does that look mean? Why does it concern me? I was just curious about what dear Yi was doing in the math room. Now it seems like my good intentions were wasted. What's the point of asking? Qin Yunming shook his head helplessly, unable to sleep and could only plan for the future on a piece of paper. Occasionally, he would listen to the class. When he heard the teacher and classmates struggling with a simple addition and subtraction problem within 10, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. Because Qin Feng often did this, the whole class thought he had a problem with his head. But Qin Feng didn't care. After all, geniuses are on the left, and madmen are on the right. Finally, it was time for the class to end, and Qin Feng was the first one to rush out of the classroom. Humph. I used to be the first one to rush out of the classroom, now it's him. Yanwei couldn't help but comment when he saw Qin Feng running faster than a rabbit. In front of a red GTR, many girls and boys were gathered, praising the car nonstop. Biaoyi saw Qin Feng coming out and waved his hand to call him over. Qin Feng was puzzled. Why would Biaoyi look for him? He thought as he walked quickly towards Biaoyi, receiving envious glances from those around him. Qin Feng, what's up? Biaoyi, I happened to pass by and thought I'd give you a ride home. Qin Feng, I can take a taxi myself. Biaoyi, I have something to ask you. Qin Feng, I won't pay for the fare. Qin Feng shook his head helplessly and prepared to get in the car. Biaoyi, an excited voice came from behind. Biaoyi and Qin Feng turned around at the same time. They saw Yanwei walking towards them with a smile. Biaoyi, why do you have time to come to our school today? Yanwei quickly walked to Biaoyi's side and asked with a smile. I came to find someone, Biaoyi said expressionlessly, looking at Yanwei. Yanwei looked at Qin Feng with glee and whispered to Biaoyi, Biaoyi, are you taking him somewhere to beat him up? I've never liked him. Take me with you. Biaoyi's face changed when he heard this, then he spoke loudly, do you know him? We're classmates, Yanwei replied with a smile, a wicked smile appearing on his face. Then let me tell you. If you dare to mess with him, you're messing with me. Don't think that having Big Brother How backing you up means you can do whatever you want. That Big Brother How of yours is just a little brother in front of me. Yanwei's face showed disbelief upon hearing this, his mouth twitched as he looked at Qin Feng, who was gloating on the side, then he looked at Biaoyi. Yes. Also, don't go around saying that we know each other. We've only met a few times in the math room. Yes. Yanwei's face visibly darkened, but he still obediently agreed. Get in the car. Biaoyi ignored Yanwei and personally opened the car door for Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't refuse and glanced at Yanwei with a gloating expression before getting into the car. Seeing Qin Feng get in the car, Biaoyi also sat in the driver's seat and slowly started the car. With a swoosh, the car disappeared from the sight of the crowd. Humph, who is Qin Feng? Biaoyi actually personally opened the car door for him. Yanwei saw Biaoyi stomping in anger, but his eyes revealed a slight fear towards Qin Feng. The GTR sped along the road. Inside the car, Biaoyi said, I heard you're representing the district in the elite competition the day after tomorrow? Qin Feng nodded. Biaoyi said, your strength is indeed not as simple as it seems. Xin Feng asked, is that why you're here? Diao Yi replied, there's something else too. Xin Feng said, just say it. Diao Yi said, I want you to help me defeat someone. Xin Feng said, tell me everything at once. Diao Yi gritted his teeth and his anger was evident on his face. A strong student from the 3rd grade. He made me lose face in the calculation room yesterday. Xin Feng asked, 3rd grade? Do you think I can defeat a 3rd grade strong student? Diao Yi said, you can participate in the elite competition. I believe in your strength, at least the 3rd grade won't be a problem. Xin Feng asked, why should I help you? Diao Yi said, after it's done, I'll give you 2,000 yuan as a reward, and I can also be your bodyguard for a month. Xin Feng asked, bodyguard? Diao Yi said, if you often go to the calculation room, relying solely on your brain won't be enough, someone will eventually seek revenge on you. Xin Feng said, I'll consider it. Diao Yi said, the 3rd grade strong student from yesterday is named Gao Qifeng. He's mastered the content of the 3rd grade textbooks. Diao Yi's anger resurfaced as he continued, I underestimated him and lost to him yesterday. Xin Feng said, just a piece of trash. Diao Yi was surprised, although he knew Qin Feng's strength deep down. Diao Yi asked, are you confident? Diao Yi knew Qin Feng wouldn't make empty promises. Xin Feng asked, when should I go? Diao Yi's face lit up with joy, you agreed? After you participate in the competition with the strong opponents, I'll inform you then. Xin Feng said, turn left up ahead. Diao Yi said, this isn't the way to your house, is it? Although Diao Yi was puzzled, he turned the steering wheel to the left. Xin Feng said, pull over, wait for me for a moment. Diao Yi obediently did as he was told and parked the car safely by the roadside. Xin Feng got out of the car and quickly walked to the pavilion, looking around. Finally, he saw a red bag in a corner. He opened it and indeed found a set of test papers. However, there was a sticky note attached to the test papers with a few big words written on it. Score God, please sign your name after completing it, okay? Xin Feng couldn't help but laugh and cry. He put away the test papers and walked back to the car. What's this? Diao Yi asked curiously as soon as Xin Feng sat down. Test papers, do you have a pen? Xin Feng replied casually, wanting to finish writing in the car and quickly return it later, so he wouldn't have to come back again. Yes, I do. Diao Yi looked around and finally found a pen in the drawer, handing it to Xin Feng. Wait for me for a minute. Xin Feng said, burying his head in the test papers. It was just some addition and subtraction within 10, and the most difficult one was 2 plus 1-2. Xin Feng finished it in 10 seconds. Since Leng Xiao asked for a score of 65, Xin Feng left many places blank. Just as he was about to put away the test papers, he remembered the content of the sticky note. Let's fulfill the small wish of the fans. Xin Feng imitated the appearance of a celebrity in a movie and wrote a barely legible score God at the end of the test papers. He looked at his masterpiece with great satisfaction and then put away the test papers. He quickly got out of the car and returned the test papers. He sat back in the car just in time. 1 minute later, Diao Yi looked at this scene in shock. Diao Yi said, no way. You finished a test paper in just a few seconds?